This morning on today's Consumer Retail Lures. Have you ever walked into a store for a couple of things and you walk out with a bunch of bags thinking, how did that happen? MSNBC financial analyst Vera Gibbons is here to tell us how retailers get us to spend extra money. It's pretty sneaky, Vera.
It's very sneaky.
All right, so why do we get so distracted once we get there? I mean, I go in with a list, I'm all set, and then all of a sudden I got all
We let
this
our
stuff.
emotions get to the best of us, right? We shop when we're tired, we shop when we're angry, we shop when we're happy, we shop for a variety of different reasons. One thing you want to avoid right off the top here, those large shopping carts.
You can put a family of 4 in these things.
Right,
now.
and then because it still looks empty, you put another family of 4 in there, right? So it adds up. People who use these large shopping carts spend 37% more.
So what do you do?
Just have your list, like you said, and stick to it, or use one of those smaller handheld carts if they're available. Unfortunately, they're becoming a little more difficult to find.
Or you could look like my mom pushing one of those carts you bring from home, the folding cart.
Yeah, that might work too.
Okay. Also, they play on our senses.
Yes.
Especially if you smell something enjoyable. How many times have you been in an airport and you smell that cinnamon?
Cinnamon, there you go. You do. You know, cinnamon in general is a holiday-like scent. A lot of retailers use it around the holidays, but vanilla is popular. Chocolate, if it's used very subtly.
Bacon.
Peppermint. Bacon would work for you.
Yes.
Definitely. Because it appeals to your emotions, right? It plays to your emotions. It entices you to actually spend. And retail sales actually can increase by as much as 50%.
But how do you avoid the smells?
You can avoid the smells. And if you're smelling something that takes us back to our childhood, something that smells good, nostalgic, like baked goods, for example, you're probably going to go for it. I mean, the smell will either come from the product itself, like the baked goods, or these stores will have these units hidden in their store where, you know, they've got various aromas, potpourri, floral scents, you know.
Interesting. And then music also.
Music also. So these retailers work with music providers to come up with these playlists that would appeal to their target audience. So in the women's department store, for example, you're going to have sort of instrumental music. In the teenage department store, you're going to have sort of more foreground music, maybe supplemented with videos. Everything has to work. The music selection, the sound quality, the decibel levels. We like the music. We spend more time in the store. We spend more money, more impulse buys.
And you mentioned video. Video displays are becoming a lot more prevalent.
You're probably seeing more of those, right? So they've got video displays, free seminars, free workshops, free cooking segments, whatever the case may be, because retailers know that consumers like to learn something, and we also like to feel part of a community, and when everything works,
so the longer we're in the store watching these videos, the more likely we are to...
That's exactly right. Some people actually feel guilty. They feel so guilty. They've been there for half an hour, whatever the case may be. They feel like they've got to spend. They've got to spend money.
How come those people never seem guilty in Starbucks? They're sitting there for hours
and the line goes out the door.
Jeez.
I know.
Anyway,
I know.
Okay, when they offer you those free food samples, what's the deal there?
Just say no, right?
Yeah.
There's a statistic out there that shows 40% of people who accept a free food sample end up buying food, even though they had absolutely no intention of doing so. So don't shop on an empty stomach, right, Al?
That's right. Unless you're looking for a cheap meal, and you just keep skimming the area.
Right?
All right, now, when you go to clothing, you try it on in the fitting room. Lighting is a kind of a lure.
That's a big one, right? So the lighting at the entrance is nothing special. Mirrors are nothing special. But when you go into the dressing room, some of these retailers manipulate the lighting, manipulate the mirrors so that you look good.
They're not like funhouse mirrors, are they? That make you look thinner, do they?
Thinner? So, you know, you don't want to buy something when you're out to here, right? So if you look thin, attractive, fit, tan, healthy, you're more inclined to buy it. The purchasing decisions take place in the dressing room. So that's where they're more inclined to manipulate the mirrors.
You also say watch out for some surprise finds. Like what?
Oh, all sorts of interesting things. The idea here is retailers like to stock the shelves with things that get you browsing. You know, you're spending more time. Warehouse clubs are, you know, notorious for this. At Costco, for example, you've got everything from wedding dresses to travel packages to sunglasses. The idea is to make shopping more of an experience and less of just a simple transaction. It's like a virtual treasure hunt in some of these places. And again, it leads to more impulse buys.
And then so you've been really good. You've avoided the smells, the music, everything. You get to the checkout, and it's one last time.
One more gotcha. Save an additional 20% today if you use these coupons, or come back next week or the following week. Save an additional 10%. The idea is to get people coming back, to get those repeat customers.
Oh, those sneaky retailers. All right, Vera Gibbons.